What is femaleness? What is it from your perspective?
Yes, femaleness is, there is the male inside the female in that word.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the total balance above duality between the male and the female.
Okay.
But we live in a world that is very, very male, very linear thinking. It is young energy, going, action, in the West anyway. So we don't really know anymore what female is. Okay. Sometimes when we meet indigenous people, or we go to the East, to Tibet, or to meditate in India, then we go like, oh, there's this huge universe of the inside world. The yin energy, it's a bit slower. It is unappreciated because it's almost invisible. But our brain is actually, the conscious brain is only 5-6% of our brain. The rest of it is unconscious. Okay. And actually connecting to your own femaleness is very powerful, because that's where everything is.
Is that, say that the connecting with your emotions, your feelings, your intuition?
Yes, that's more right brain. That is the female part of us.
That's the female part.
Yeah.
Okay.
The most successful, happy people are the ones that have it in balance. Okay. And it's not about being a woman or a man, but to have the balance between your right brain and left brain. Yeah. I'm doing this movement again. Yes, it is the infinity actually. Okay. And it is this flow. This is also the first cells in your body that being formed. It is where the bottom chakra is an 8.
Really?
Yes. Wow. And in many teachings like healing Tahoe and even belly dancing, if you do it on the level of breaking consciousness, is working with those essence muscle, which is a total infinity between everything what we are, which is actually everything what I do, what I believe in, and it's between the male and the female also like that. So,
why did you decide to do the Happy Goddessa? What was it you thought the world needs Happy Goddessa?
Well, I according to my method, it starts with show your colors. Okay. It starts with use your voices. Okay. This is like you have to know who you are. Yeah. And you have to know who you are spiritually. So you have to listen to your inner voice. Mm-hmm. You have to know who you are physically, your physical body, to understand literally on the basic, your teeth, your bones, your hair, your nails, this. And then you have to know yourself on the emotional part. Yeah. Who you are, what is the thing that blocks you, who you are emotionally, your emotional body, your emotional voice, and then your mental voice. Your mental is the programming that we have, the thinking part of us, the rationalizing. So this is according to the will, and I think when you start the wheel of life, or they call it medicine wheel, or they call it It's very funny. I was coming back to it all the time. I saw I'm working according to this. What is this? And then I found it's in the Kabbalah it exists. It's understanding that the whole life is like the seasons. It's always it's a circle of life. And when you are attending to all four, you will always be well-rounded on all sides. You're not going to be only physically very strong and mentally very strong, also emotionally, spiritually very strong. And if you look at your own, when you do those exercises, you will see, I'm very strong in this and this. And this is the part where I'm like a real beginner. Mm-hmm. So there are some things you can develop yourself so your will is well-rounded. So that's the first stage. And this, when you start this stage, until the end of your life, you spin your own will. Mm-hmm. And then the second stage on the path is to show your colors, because when you know yourself, that's great. But to show it to other people, that's a step. That's a step that goes out.
Yeah, and that's the action.
And that's it. And here I do parties for it. For the use your voices, I teach that in classes, and then I'm going to expand on that for the Happy Goddessa, because I see that people need to learn those techniques. So after you do your show your colors, which you connect with people and you show your true self, and it's a little bit scary, but it's also fun. Come the stage of to find your joy. Mm-hmm. Which is the part where you go like, okay, how do I expand? What stands in the way of growing to my full potential?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and that is going through some things you don't want to see. But it brings you into that joy. And then the next stage is when you find your passion. You know who you are. You can show it. You put it into a form that can manifest for others. Mm-hmm. It's called Be the Change, based on Gandhi. be the change you want to be in the world. Okay. So when a person gets to be the change, they become a really wonderful, productive, light worker in the world. So I thought, okay, I would like to see more people getting so well with themselves and figure out so well how they can follow out of their own passion and power and to become their own students. So that's my mission. I thought I want to see as much as happy goddesses in the world. And of course the word God is inside the goddessa.
So this is targeted for women?
Men are also welcome, and sometimes I do things that for both. But I think more for women because we live in a world that does so we are circles and we live in a square world. It's hard to remember your own thing. It's hard to remember what real femaleness is. Because if you look at our Western world, the idea of what strong female is a very male woman. Is driven, is successful, is running, tough, and it has nothing to do with real, true feminism. Femaleness is very, it's like the intuition. It's hard to grasp. You have to give it time. It's not a performance. You know, the male part is the outside. Also, your organs, the male organs are outside. Everything with the female is inside. So when you want success and recognition, you cannot do that inside the female. It's kind of a level of evolution that you're humble and invisible, but you do the highest work. And it's tough. I don't know many people that can say, they do exist, but they are like Gandhi and Mandela and Dalai Lama and lots of people that we call them at certain points saints. Because they did this inner work, which is invisible, but it's powerful beyond how many cars you have and how many awards you got. The female trait is scaring the shit out of everybody. No, because it's also connected to the biggest suffering on the planet in history and right now is on the female part of all of us as a species. We are a female species, actually. But we are kind of lost our way at a certain point. So to turn into this quiet part, into the female, soft, gentle part, you awaken the collective suffering. And it's not fun to be there. Some of the biggest teaching of the Buddha is to be able to be in it for the transmission of the human suffering. It's not a glamorous job. It's something that you do with breath and with processing and realizing that this huge human suffering is very big. Nobody can do it on their own. But it's also not your own, it's ours. So it's much more fun to go outside. It's much more fun to go after targets and but it exposes you too much to the sun, which is like the male, and then you can burn yourself out, and that's what we do in the West. We burn ourselves out. We burn our marriages and relationships, all too much fire. And to go into the water, that's something, in later life you realize, actually what I want is peace, and it's not in the fire. But the fire has great, amazing qualities. That's interesting. So just becoming aware about this, that's already something I want people to do. So, the first messages before you go on your wheel is to take the journey. Because you have to consciously go, I'm going to start something, I don't know where I'm going to end up, and I don't know what I'm going to encounter, but it's definitely going to liberate my full potential. I cannot tell you yet what it is, but I take my own journey.
That's also, there's so much fear in the world at the moment.
Oh, of course.
And that fear is like pinning people down to not get on this journey.
Yes.
So.
But also there is no way anywhere. You have to go through that. You have to get awakened in order to have the joy and happiness and the full potential that we have. So I designed the Happy Goddessa specifically to help people to take their journey. They don't have to do it through my way, through a voice. I'm doing it through the 4 voices. It is going through using your own creativity and your own physical and mental, emotional and inner voice. But just take the journey that's already in any way that you will do that, that's great.